Okay, if you're watching me now, I'm doing a different background behind me. We're going to see how that works. They gave me a background you can look at, so we're going to see how that works. So the one thing with today, what we're going to talk about today, is going to be on symbols and how symbols work for mediumship, how it works for mediumship. And really, what I want to do is just connect to that vibration today, and connect to that situation. So, symbols with mediumship. Let me start first of all. Symbols with mediumship start a lot with connection to what's going on around you, especially with mediums and different things in the vibration. So, if we allow ourselves to connect to the vibration, we can allow ourselves to connect to the vibration. So with connecting to where we are, or in the vibration where we are in our mediumship and our connection to mediumship. And what we're really doing is watching to see what shows up. A lot of it is watching to see what shows up as a medium. So when you're a working medium or a working psychic or a working healer, and you're asking your guides or your protectors, guides, people that are around you at that point, how's this working for me? And then allow your guides to work with you, to show you repetitiously in front of you. A lot of us that are in this work or connect to this work or connect to this situation, we don't really get a lot of messages for ourselves. Spirit really thinks that we're on the path where we need to be, and Spirit's going to take care of us, so they don't really give us a lot of messages. So the question with that vibration is really understanding the connection of how Spirit works with you, how Spirit connects to the vibration of where you're supposed to be. So what you're doing is you're trying to figure out exactly how Spirit works with you, how Spirit connects to the situation within your life. So allow yourself to find that balance. Symbols are what is propelled in yourself towards you. So if you're looking at something in your life and you go, I wonder if that means something. Remember, Spirit's going to be, I have a rule in the vibration when I do mediumship and connect to mediumship. There's a rule that I use when I do mediumship is I go ahead and I watch and I try to kind of connect to the higher vibration, the higher connection with Spirit. And I allow them to work with me, allow them to do that repetition things going on. It's like if I see 555 and then I get change from somebody in a store and the change is exactly 555. And I look at the clock again and it's 555. That's a sign to me. That's a sign that either angelic presence is speaking to me, angels are speaking to me. So what I do is I kind of watch and see the symbology going on around me during my waking hours. So especially if it continues to be repetitious. With symbols within mediumship reading, it's the question of understanding not really what they mean to someone else or what they mean to some other vibration, but what they actually mean to you. So when you're actually looking at situations around you, what does it mean to you? How does it connect to you? Because there's a reason why that got put in your head, why that got put towards you. Because there's a reason why Spirit is working with that symbol, because they understand that you know what it means to you, and you explain it to the person you're reading. So if I see a fire truck's going to have a certain meaning to me. Maybe because my uncle worked on a fire truck. There's different meanings for the fire truck that are going to be, that I will come to conclusion really quick, because that's what it means to me. But it might mean something different to somebody else. So you have to realize that, what does it mean to you? How does it connect to you? See, it's the whole thing of watching. And mediums have to be watchers. We have to be watchers along the path. Because during readings and during healings and during this work, this spiritual work that we do, we're always constantly being bombarded with information. Once we open the door, I teach people in my class, once you come to the class, once you open yourself up, you are now open. You have cracked the door. Now, you might want to try to pull the door shut and lock it again, but usually the door doesn't completely go all the way shut. The door stays open in some fashion, some way. So when you're trying to propel yourself and get yourself to where you need to be, what do you really see? And I tell people to go ahead and do that psychic vocabulary, your psychic vocabulary in your life. Keep track of what's showing itself to you. Get an idea in your head what it means to you, so that when you see 10, 15 different symbols all about at the one time, you get a pretty good idea of what each one means, and you don't have to kind of play 200 questions with your guides trying to figure out what it means. You've got a pretty good idea of what it means. It's that constant working with your guides. Meditation, connection with that, understanding that vibration. But remember, for your personal work, though, your guides will literally say, okay, we want to show you something. And they'll be very repetitious. They'll just hit you with it. But usually that repetition will go on. Same thing with readings and situations with that repetition of symbols. I have people that will say, well, I saw my mother with somebody. My mother showed up in a reading. My mother showed up. My mother, not their mother, but my mother showed up. The symbology of your mother showing up in your reading has some kind of connection to the person that you're reading. That means that your mother isn't that person's guide, or she's arrived to take care of that person. Your mother or a relative in your life that shows up in a reading with you is there because something to do with your mother or something to do with the vibration of that has some kind of connection to somebody in spirit that's associated with them. If my Uncle Al shows up in your vibration, I'm probably going to say, I have somebody here named Albert. Albert's with you. Albert is, oh my God, that's my Uncle Al. I've got an Uncle Al, and they're probably a good possibility they have an Uncle Al. Or my Uncle Al, looks a lot like somebody in their family. So you're trying to discern spirit, discerning them as you speak. And you might think, well, I need to do this. No, you need to discern the spirit as you speak. That is the question with doing the whole vibration, discerning spirit as you speak. Because if you don't discern them, they just keep rattling off. Well, I tell people when they come to a reading with me, I'm not the one that's going to actually change your vibration. I have to talk to spirit, not you. I have to discern the spirits that are coming in and around you. I give you as like a voice box to say yes or no. Yes, I understand that. I understand that. Or say no, I don't understand that. Could you elaborate on that some more? So I'm discerning the spirit as they're speaking to me and speaking to you. You don't have to discern the spirit when you're in the office with me because I want to do that. Had somebody ask me the other day, says, do you take my name and number and all this stuff and check me out on Facebook and get information? I said, no. Because really when somebody calls me for reading, I really don't want to know too much information from them. Because that just throws the whole reading off. It throws everything off for me because I can't go ahead and do this. No, that doesn't work. Usually when you come to my office for a reading, I don't ask your name or your last name or your name or anything. I just get your telephone number and hopefully you show up for the reading. But that's what I do. But you have to be a clear channel, that clear vibration, that clear channel for spirit to work with you, to work in your vibration for you. See, everything about mediumship is connected to psychometry. It's the energy that I carry with me. It's the energy that you carry in the room. It's the energy from the spirit world. It's how I conduce the energy to build my energy to touch in with spirit and to float with spirit. So everything about everything that I do is through psychometry. It's all that. It's all that. Everybody says, "Oh my God, Lou, it's got to be more. It's got to be more than that. It's got to be more. It's got to do more than that situation, more than that vibration. It's got to be more. It's got to be more." No, it doesn't. It's the energy that I bring in the room. If I'm a clear channel and I'm working with spirit, I'm going to get the symbols I need to give you a reading. I, first, while I'm doing the reading, have to raise my vibration to touch in with spirit, or to float with that vibration of spirit. When I get to that point, spirit is now working with me through my energy field. But I still have to deal with your energy field because you're in the room with me. So now all three of us, spirit, me, you, have to be in this little floating mode with the spirit world. And then things start to work. Things start to fall into place. So that's what you're trying to do. You're trying to raise the vibration. And meditation connects you to being quiet. And really you don't have to close your eyes and meditate and zone out for 30 minutes, 45 minutes. Just sit still. My mother used to tell me, because I used to run, I used to be all over the place, and she used to say, "Be still. Be still, Lou. Be still. Just be still." So I remember that. I just have to be still. I don't have to go in some kind of massive and throw salt and do all kinds of stuff with the spirit world. I just have to be still and watch what's showing up in front of me. And guides will work with you because, remember, you have the 10 to 15 guides that follow you throughout this lifetime. 10 to 15. So you have 10 to 15 guides that are part of your spiritual band. Usually 3, 4, possibly 5 guides could show up in your vibration. I shouldn't have to see all 15 in one reading. If I do, then there's major issues going on in your life. There's major issues because your guides are having a board meeting and you are not invited. It means I have to really understand what's going on with you and trying to help you with that situation. But usually 4 or 5 guides will show up. Guides will show up in the vibration, or helpers, I call them helpers, that are connected to the person that you actually brought into your office. They are the ones that will go out and search for the symbols, the different things that I have to see to actually be in here. I had a lady, I got to tell you the symbols, kind of symbols that I see. I had a lady come in my office, and her mother brought in a blue shawl, put it over her shoulders. So I'm watching the blue shawl, and I'm going, okay, blue signifies healing, balancing, so probably she needs healing. So there's a little girl sitting on the floor playing jacks. And you've ever played jacks, usually the ball that you play jacks with is red. The ball that this little girl was playing jacks with was not red, it was blue. So now I saw the blue color twice in this person's vibration. And then somebody appeared behind her with a blue iris. So these 3 vibrations with blue signify to me that I needed to probably help this woman with something to do with health or healing with somebody around her. I felt like they were protecting her, but most of the symbols were from behind her or away from her. So it signifies that the healing had to be connecting to somebody that she had some kind of connection to and was helping. So I told her that there's a healing going on around you, but I feel like you're giving a lot of healing, a lot of balance to someone else around you. And she said, "Oh my God, my mother's so sick right now, and I'm trying to send her healing." I just saw the blue, and I just had to make quick decisions of where does the blue fit? Does it fit for her? Is it around her? Is it near her? Where does it go? And that's really what we're looking for, is how does it affect us? How does the blue vibration affect? Or if someone's playing with, let's say, the jacks. Let's go back to the jacks. And instead of having a full set of jacks on the floor, there's only 2. And the person's playing with 2 jacks. The person behind the person is stepped behind the individual 2 steps. They're not right up in the auric field or back. You kind of gear the vibration. they're back 2 steps. So you got 2 jacks, 2 steps. That's either 2 weeks, 2 months, or 2 years. So you got to discern that. Say what time period is that? That's you talking to Spirit. What time period is that? Because you're trying to show me 2. What does that mean, 2? So then they start working with giving you information, another symbol, another vibration symbol. So what you're doing is you're trying to read what's there, but move forward, move connecting to a higher sense of consciousness. But it's always just kind of floating with Spirit. Think of getting a mediumship or in a healing mode, and you've stepped offshore and you've got yourself in a boat. You don't have any oars. You just push the boat off from shore, and you're just floating in that river. You're just floating there. You're not forcing it. You're not making it work. It's just there. That's when you're with connection with the spirit world. And a lot of it works different for other people. Some people could say, oh, those, I do this, and that's how it gets me into spirit. Somebody else will say something different. That's how they get to spirit. Everybody has a way of getting to that mode where the symbols and the vibration and the energy just kind of just flows in the vibration. I know when I'm on, when I'm in that loop, that vibration, I know when I'm off too. I know when it's not quite working, but I know when I'm on, I'm in that loop and what their information they're giving me. And I'm not saying that spirit is completely right all the time. Sometimes they try to tell me they are. But it's really how we perceive the information, we, as a channel, how we perceive it. So that's why the information sometimes works extremely well for others, and sometimes it doesn't quite work, because we aren't interpreting the symbols as good as we should be interpreting them. We kind of interpret them, and we tell people something, and they go, oh, that's not it, that's not it, that's not it. But we kind of think that that is it, but we've read it wrong. We've kind of got this understanding, because we'll see an energy shift when we say something wrong. If we gear ourselves, and I tell people when you do mediumship, you get a rule, get something in your life to turn the mediumship on. Get a word, get something you tell yourself, get something that tells yourself when you are off. I have a symbol that appears in my vibration if I'm not connecting to spirit in the right way. I'll have this little small 5-pounded star that will appear floating in my vibration if I'm not where I should be with the interpretation of what I'm trying to tell the individual. That star appears, I stop, I ask questions. So if you're in this work, ask your guides, okay guys, I'd like to, if I'm not going to be on, if I'm not doing the work that I'm not interpreting it that way, could you please show me this? That way I'll know that I'm not looking, I need to change directions. It's just training yourself, training your vibration to get yourself to where you need to be. Training yourself. That's what you're doing. You're training your vibration, training your energy field, your vibration of where you personally need to be. And that's through psychometry, through meditation, that's through sitting quiet, and that's through making some kind of psychic vocabulary for yourself. Remember, if you see something and something means one thing, it means something to you. If you see a yellow car, and a yellow car means this, that's what it means. Your uncle drove a red yellow car, or some of your family drove a yellow car. You have a strong connection to that part of the family, that vibration. So you're watching to see what side of the family that person was on. Sometimes symbols will appear in a vibration, a car, symbol that somebody used to drive. And you go, it's my uncle from my father's side of the family. Well, if I see that, consciously I will know that somebody is trying to speak to her from her father's side of the family. See, this is interpreting it the way that you're supposed to interpret. See, I can teach mediumship, I can teach it, but mediumship is this work, this understanding of work, connecting to a higher sense of consciousness, a higher vibration within someone's life. You have to ask yourself, what do I need to tell this person? Or ask yourself to be a clear channel for spirit. Be a clear channel. Just allow me to be a clear channel for inspiration and words from the spirit world. Inspiration. Be inspired, a clear channel. And allowing ourselves to be open. Some people get this mixed up is they want to have control of the reading. They want to have control. They want to control the situation. I don't control the reading. The reading controls me. Sure, I have ways of telling situations in people's lives. You're not going to tell somebody they're going to die. You're not going to tell somebody they're getting a divorce. You're not telling somebody certain things in a certain blunt vibration. You're not going to tell somebody that someone's going to die and they're going to be dead soon, so they should start making plans. No. See, there's things that you kind of interpret. You might see something like that, but you don't bring it forth that way. If you see that something's going on with somebody's relationship or situation within their life, what you would tell somebody is, there's a lot of energy going on in the relationship cycle of your vibration. And I sense that you're going to be making quite a few changes in situations with your life, but I feel like you need to be watchful of what's going on around you and make decisions that benefit you and benefit you in the highest and best for your energy field as you move forward here into the future, and allow your instincts, allow your vibration within your life to set you on the course that you're supposed to be on. Now, I haven't told the person they're going to get divorced, things are going to change, things are going to be vibration, but I told them to be watchful. See, because if I tell you you're going to get divorced, out of the whole reading, the only thing you'll remember from that reading, but I could have brought through Jesus and he could have sat on the side of my chair and talked to you. You won't remember anything else except for that one word, divorce, death, situations in the vibration. I did a reading the other day, and I wasn't really touching base with the lady, and I knew I had to stop the reading. I knew I had to stop it, and because she wanted specific information from her mother, and her mother was not going to give her this information. I wouldn't care how I could have gone over there and dragged her mother across the room and tried to make her say it. She wasn't going to do it. She wasn't. She was not going to participate in that situation. So I told the lady, I just can't reach you because you are looking for something your mother really doesn't want to give you. So she leaves, and she calls me back about an hour later. She goes, I thought you didn't want to read me because I was going to be dead. Well, I didn't know where that appeared in the reading. I didn't say that, didn't have any idea of death, didn't tell her anything about death. But what she brought out of the reading was, I didn't read her because she was going to be dead soon. And I said, wow. And I never said that. I never said one word about death or anyone dying or anyone going to the spirit world. So the question is some people, they have their first agenda within their life is what they want to hear, that is what they want to see, and that's what they believe. And you can talk all around the whole situation, and they will not hear anything else but what they want to believe. And sometimes you just have to do your best in the reading to give them the best that you can possibly give them and allow them to sort the vibration the best they can in their lives. But not giving people ammunition. It's like I tell people, don't shoot yourself in the foot. Don't commit hara-kiri when you're doing a reading. If you're getting somebody from your vibration and you're getting a name, give names. But the question here is ask for names. Do that vibration. But when you're doing it, try to describe the individual. Give a good description of what you're seeing or what is propelling itself in front of you. Once you tell somebody, I've got your father here, and his name is Bill, and no matter how much I try to read after that, if their father's name is not Bill, I've lost the audience. The audience is now gone. Because now they're not going to understand anything else I tell them. It was that Bill. You understand? I went to father to Bill without describing the individual and then saying, there's somebody here that has the name Bill. Now, I've described the individual. The individual could be Uncle Bill, Cousin Bill. But I said it was Father Bill. Well, no, see, that's when you start addressing, unless the individual walks into your vibration, the person looks at you and goes, by the way, you tell my daughter my name's Bill. Then you say Bill. You say, oh yeah, I got Bill here, your father. But kind of describe the situation, describe it first. When you see this thing, because usually you'll be standing on a path when you start a reading, and there will be different things going on the path. There will be squirrels over here. There might be a monkey up in the tree. The trees don't have a lot of leaves on them. There might be a deflated ball over in the corner. There could be a dog running across the street. The street is kind of cobblestones. It's got a little bit of grass in it. And you start looking at all these symbols and all this vibrations going on as you start this journey in the reading. Have to ask yourself, how am I going to tell this person about the squirrel, the monkey in the tree, leaves on the tree, the deflated ball, the dog running across the path, the cobblestone path with the grass in it? How am I going to explain all this to the individual? Because you can't look at somebody and go, you know, I got a squirrel, and you know, I saw the tree, and I saw a monkey in the tree, and I saw no leaves on the tree, and you know, I saw a dog run across the path, and there was a deflated ball here, and the road looks like cobblestones, but it's got a lot of grass in it. God bless you. Well, you probably won't be doing the work too long if you do readings like that, because first of all, the symbols have a strong meaning to you, unless they don't. If you get a rabbit and the rabbit has no meaning to you, you don't really understand, and you get a block. It's like I've called it a brain skip. Like you'll start to try to say, you really can't say anything about the rabbit. It's like, it's not quite clicking. It's not, I don't know why it's not clicking. It's not quite clicking. Tell them. Say, you know, I got a rabbit here. It's got to mean something to family. It means something to you because I can't place this. Usually the person will say, you know, I used to raise rabbits. My uncle used to raise rabbits. Somebody used to raise rabbits. Or if you get something that you have no idea, it's like your brain does a skip. It won't allow you to go forward. It won't allow you to go fast. If I'm reading somebody and it's just this whole vibration of reading and connection to someone, I will start the reading and I will keep reading. But sometimes if somebody isn't really accepting the reading or not really connecting to what I'm telling them, I can't go any further. It's like I hit a block. No matter how much I want Spirit to speak to me and work with me, Spirit blocks the door. I don't know why they do that. They will block the door. And there's no way I can pray, I can do my little dance, I can do anything I want. I'm not moving any further in the reading. The person has to kind of accept what I'm telling them, or at least be in that mode, so that the reading will flow. Because it's not just the presenter, the person doing the readings with the symbols, it is the individual receiving. Has to be able to receive the flow of energy that you're propelling towards them. So the question with this is, keep some kind of symbology book for yourself. Kind of write it down, especially if you're starting this work, or if you're already in this work. Kind of keep a journal. People keep gratitude journals, and they're grateful for so many things in their lives. Keep some kind of symbology journal. If you're keeping a gratitude journal, write down what you're grateful for the day, but then think about what showed itself this day. What showed itself to you? What was out of the way? What was out of kilter? It was just something that just kind of showed up out of the blue. Write it down. Next couple of days, you could have the same thing happen again. You look back, you go, that happened on Thursday, and here on Saturday, it happened again. Spirit's way of kind of helping you to understand. You have teachers on the other side, master teachers. A lot of people, this work, don't really teach about how the teachers help you. Sure. Oh, you got master teachers. You got guardian angels. You got archangels. You've got all these teachers working with you. But by doing all these teachers, they're there to teach you, to help you and instruct you. So that's why you have that connection to them, and they're going to try to teach you. I got in this lifetime with this body. That's what I got. I'm not going to can't change it. This is what I've got. Everybody else got here with their bodies, with their vibration, what they were supposed to come in this lifetime with. Our personalities, our situations, our things in our life are mostly forged in our life through family, relatives, people, situations in our lives. And then we kind of venture off into our adulthood, and we find different people that we've chosen to be near us to be part of our life. So now we have a different group of people in our vibration throughout our lives. And they bring different symbols, different situations within our lives. When I used to read when I was 4, 5, 6 years old, my mother used to take me places I would read, I would give messages. The question here is, at that age, I had a very small, I want to say, symbol vibration. I had my home where I lived with my family, and we went to these events. But that is my symbology. That's what I had. I didn't have a lot more symbology in my life. I had that at 4, 5, 6 years old. So my readings would conduce to that. I had a, tell my age a little bit, I had this old ventriloquist doll, McCarthy, I think it was McCarthy at the time. And McCarthy is my buddy. I would play with this McCarthy doll, play the ventriloquist with the doll. I'd talk with it and do this stuff with the doll. Then when I was doing readings at 4 or 5 years old, the doll would appear. But the doll would appear with different clothes on. It would appear with different vibrations, different flowers in its lapel. Its mouth would move and do different things. The color of the doll would change, different things. So through my readings, I would give you a reading in your vibration by just what I saw, what was different with the doll. And everybody said, oh, your readings are awesome. They're just wonderful. They're just wonderful. But I wasn't seeing anything else except for that ventriloquist doll. But I was seeing the different symbols that were appearing in that. And the best way to train yourself or to teach yourself is to go into meditation. Don't rush your meditation. Sit quietly, take a breath, start your breathing, keep your eyes open. Start your breathing, start kind of just relaxing with your eyes open. Then when you close your eyes and you start your meditation, what is the first thing you see? What is the first thing you see? A lot of it, some individuals will tell me, Louis, I don't see anything. Well, there's got to be something. Something that you felt, something you sensed, something you connected to when you closed your eyes. That's what you're working at. You're working at what you see. It's not the journey at the mountaintop. It is how you get to the mountaintop is the information that you need to receive. It's not what you're going to be told on the mountain. It's when you close your eyes. Did you walk on a path? Was the path dirt? Was it stone? Was it paved? Were you off path? Was there no road at all? Were you cutting through the bushes? Were there different people there on the path with you? Did situations happen? When you closed your eyes, did you see a color? Usually light purple or lavender is Saint Germain, the great I Am. Usually blue or some kind of blue silver is the Archangel Michael. Different colors, to me, signify different things. If I see deep green, when I close my eyes, I kind of think that Raphael is here with me. If I see a light pink, an encouragement of pink, then I signify Gabriel is with me. As I signify, I place different things with different angelic presence. So when I see that color, I have a good impression of who it is, who has arrived in my vibration. If I see yellow roses, my father's here. Everybody at that time, when he passed, covered the casket and covered the room where he laid in rest with yellow roses. There was no other flowers in the room except for yellow roses. And when I see yellow roses, it connects me to my father. If I see yellow roses in your vibration, I'm probably going to your father's side of the family with somebody that has appeared in the vibration. You have to train yourself, and that connection is training and understanding how you work, how you put in the vibration for the thing. I'm going to advertise a little bit of a book that I love. This book, I just intrigued. This book. You can get it on the internet. I know she sells it. It is. I'm going to put it up. It's actually Advanced Spirit Communication and Public Mediumship by Sharon Ann Killinger. K-L-I-N-G-L-E-R. I love the information and stuff that she actually puts in that book. It goes through public work, through symbols, through mediumship, through, oh my God, it goes through so much stuff. And the book is it's a teaching book with CDs and the whole thing. And if you can find that book, it's been out. I don't know if it's still on market. It's still where it has to be, but I'm pretty sure it's still out there. And if you can get that book, it's an extremely powerful teaching tool. Extremely powerful. And the same thing to do with Living Rainbows. The book is called Living Rainbows. It teaches you how to see the auric field. So that's another very easy, very comfortable, very easy book to read and connect to your auric field. Because if you can see the auras and the colors in the auras, and you can see the auric field, you're actually going to probably see spirit and see individuals and symbols within the auric field. So a lot of that connects to the vibration around you. So you have to listen to your connection, how you work. So I might mention that book, you take a look at it and go, no, I don't like that one. It might not be the book that you need. So you have to, don't take everything, not everybody can eat everything off the table. We all have to take off the table what we personally need for ourselves. Not because it's not bad, it's bad that we shouldn't do it, but it probably doesn't work for us. It doesn't quite kind of connect to the vibration with us. So we leave it on the table for someone else. Somebody else might walk up and take it off the table and go, I love this. I think it's perfect. That's why when I teach rope readings, I teach rope readings. I teach you rope readings. It's not because of the rope, the symbols of the rope. It's the symbols of the rope that the symbols make. The rope makes when it actually lays on the table. Crumpled paper readings. I teach you how to crumple paper. Then unfold the paper. And as you're unfolding the paper, you're looking at how the symbols appear in that group of paper. That teaches you to do that. Psychometry, taking envelopes, putting pictures, putting words, putting cards in there with words on them inside an envelope, and then touching them, holding on to them, and then asking yourself, what do you sense? What do you feel with this? You're teaching yourself psychometry. You do that right in your home. A lot of this is just teaching and working at it. And continually ask your spirit for more information. If there's something else that you need to do, and I always explain to people, I always ask my guides every week, is there something I missed, something I should be doing, something I should be putting in motion? Could you please show me? So if there's something I am missing subconsciously or consciously that I should be looking at, I want them to show it to me. So I don't want to miss it, because I don't want to miss the vibration. If they're wanting to show it to me, I want them to let me see it. So the vibration with you is allowing yourself to find that passion within your life, that passion with mediumship. I have a passion with mediumship. I love connecting to the spirit world. I love going into meditation. I love speaking to spirit. It never surprises me what they do. Because I always want to go to the next door, the next vibration, the next connection up the hill, for more information, for more symbols, for more information that they can download into my vibration. And a lot of the times our meditations, our quiet times, our daydreams, our situations in our lives are going to give us the most information with our symbols and our vibration. But don't go out and buy yourself a whole bunch of symbol books and go, I'm going to buy these symbol books and I'm going to do exactly what these symbols are in the book. Symbol books are mostly what, if I wrote a symbol book, it would be probably what the symbols mean to me. How I interpret them, not the way you should interpret them, the way I should interpret them. And I always want people to look at symbol books not as the wherefore-all for your vibration, but an informational book, vibration of information. So when you look at the symbol that somebody else said, that symbol means this, and your first instinct is, I like that, then use that as your symbol then. Use that as the meaning of that symbol. You have to believe that you accept it. And then once you do, once you put it in motion, that then becomes it becomes that what it means. It means that for you. It means that if you see a cranberry and you say, well, you know, my uncle used to love cranberries. And cranberries are red, so that means energy and balance of energy. So now, if you accept that, cranberries will mean something to do with an uncle. Cranberries mean energy to you. Energy, vibration of energy. So now you've set that. And Spirit doesn't play 20 questions here and keep changing the vibration. They keep going, aha, we're going to play with you today. And change it. That's why I tell people, symbols kind of set the people in your vibration. You're reading somebody, you see mother's side of the family is on one side of the person, that mother's side is on that side of the person, that's the energy where you sense from that side of the individual, then father's side will be on the other side of the individual. Grandparents usually above the head, friends usually step back, children that have passed, different things that happen will sit probably right in front of the person. Friends are usually off to the side, but off a little bit further up ahead. Different things, people will stand where they're supposed to stand, so that the medium isn't thrown off base with where they're at. You don't want to say, well, I've got your father here, but you've actually got your grandfather on your mother's side. You want to be able to know what side of the family you're going towards, you're heading towards. And that's one of the first things I teach people when I teach the mediumship. Figure out where people are standing. Figure them out. Figure out what the energy is. Now, even if you're clairsentient and all you're doing is you're sensing energy, where did you sense the energy? Right side of the person, left side. Did you bring through their mother? Well, if you brought through their mother on their left side, usually the father side of the family is going to be on the right. So you're setting that vibration. When you set symbols, like people say 555, 222, 111, 333, that all is angelic presence talking to you. Now, if you believe that's angelic presence talking to you, then that's what it will mean. That's what it will mean. If you have another interpretation of that, then that interpretation will take precedent, because that is your interpretation. It might not be everybody else's, but yours. 555, 111, 222, that tells me that there are guides, angelic presence, a presence around you trying to get your attention. I always believe that. Doesn't quite mean that they're archangels, but they are guides and protectors that have followed you and trying to talk to you at this point. So you're asking them the question, as I said before, is there something I missed, something I should be putting in motion, something I should be doing? Please show me. But the reason here is I teach this for symbols is not because you need to believe that it means this, is to work at it. And that's what trying to work with people. Tell them what you sense and have the person be truthful with you. Have them be truthful with you and say, no, that doesn't quite mean that. Doesn't quite mean that. That way you can go back and ask your guides, okay, this person said it doesn't mean that. What are you trying to show me? What are you trying to do? So you want that communication. Even though you're teaching yourself to do symbols, learning what symbols are, learning how to do symbols, you're also learning how to have that two-way communication with your guides. Two-way communication. So what you're trying to do is figure out how your guides speak to you, how your higher self speaks to you, master teachers, past life incarnations, because you are a conglomerate of every lifetime, every incarnation, every vibration that you've ever been in this lifetime. I don't care if you said, Louis, I've lived 1,000 times, 1,000 lifetimes. Well, you've got 1,000 lifetimes of experiences within your vibration at this moment. And you can pull from any one of those lifetimes to make this lifetime even better. So you're looking for symbols. You want your life better? Ask your guys, say, okay, I'd really like to see something more in my life, something more connected in my life to help me and encourage me. Could you please show me? And then I have people that will ask for too many things, too many symbols at one time. Then Spirit has a sense of humor. You know, they do. They have a sense of humor. So don't tell them, oh, yeah, just bring it all. Just drop it in here. They'll bring the dump. You'll hear this dump truck backing up with little bells going off, and the dump truck will dump everything all at one time. Then people get scattered, as we call it, psychic upset stomach. You'll get too much of the stuff, and it throws you completely off balance. And it takes you a while to get yourself back centered again, back to the center, back to this vibration of your life. So don't beat yourself up if you aren't getting something right now with something you're wanting to make happen. Say, okay, that's not quite working. Then I just ask my guides, okay, that's not quite working. What would you like me to do? Where would you like to point me? And then allow them to point you in a direction, point you in a vibration within your life. Everything is a connection to Spirit. Everything that you do in your life. Remember, I've said before, you enter this airplane. On the other side, in the spirit world, when you were standing at the doorway or the elevator to drop you back into this lifetime, you stood there in a conference room collecting your guides, people that were supposed to help you in this lifetime. Master guides, guides that are supposed to be part of your vibration, are not your family relatives, are not people that are on this airplane, because you were living, they were living while you were living. Living. If you have a great-great-grandfather and that grandfather was dead, had passed to Spirit before you were born, then your grandfather could be your spirit guide. But if your father or your son or your mother dies on this airplane while you knew them on this airplane, they do not become your guides. They are not your guides. What they are helpers. They come in and out of your vibration to help you, to try to bring things to you. But they are not your guides. So I get a little perturbed sometimes when people say, I've got your mother here, my dear, and she's your guide. Nonsense. No. Your guides are people that you handpicked, and you handpicked them from the other side before you entered this airplane. Those guides are sitting in a little vibration, and as you progress in this lifetime, other guides that are part of the group that you picked will arrive down to help you. So your guides have been picked for you for this lifetime, for this journey. You have gone to the lodge. You have asked for an excursion into the back hill territory. And they have assigned you a guide to take you on this journey into the back hills. While you were on the other side, you stopped at the front desk and said, I need a guide. I'm going to the airplane. I need a guide. Could you please? And guides will show up of what you need in this lifetime, what you personally need. There are people in this lifetime that will never do mediumship, never connect to the higher sense of consciousness, never do it. They will live, die on this airplane with never connecting to Spirit. Doesn't mean they don't have guides, doesn't mean they don't have people helping them and nudging them on their path. They just don't see them. They just don't want to connect to them, don't want to see them. I love it. I had a girl the other day said, I want to be a medium, but I don't want to see dead people. Well, if you want to be a medium and you want to connect to people that have crossed over to Spirit, you're going to see somebody in Spirit. At some point, you're going to open that doorway and you're going to see them. And they're going to show up. So hopefully you want to talk to them. Hopefully you want to have some kind of connection to that Spirit. But listen to yourself. A lot of this is just listening to your vibration within your life. Listening to you, your connection, not what somebody else thinks that you should have. When you do a reading, let me just truly explain this. I'll give a little exercise in understanding this. If I see you sitting in front of me, and I have an energy on your left-hand side, on top of that, I see, I'll give that reading I did for some lady a while ago. The older lady came in and dropped a blue shawl on her. She walked in my office. Before she could sit down, this little girl started playing jacks on the floor with the blue ball. someone brought a blue flower, an iris, I think it was an iris. Then I watched where she was at this point. The color of her aura was more of a silvery blue color, almost like a grayish blue color. Then I started looking at different things. So I started trying to figure out why all the blue? Why all this blue? Why are you trying to show me all this blue? And blue had a strong connection to her mother. Her mother loved the color blue. Mother was in spirit, plus her mother was in spirit, the one that she had a strong connection to, her godmother, her mother that was in spirit, her color was that, but her biological mother was still here, and she was very ill. And she had a strong connection to this woman also. So I could tell her that the godmother, the vibration she had a strong connection to, was sending a lot of energy through her to help the mother that was still here on this earth plane. But I had to kind of ask myself, why all the blue? Why? And sometimes in life, even though if you're not going to do mediumship, you're not going to go sit and do readings and connect to the higher senses of consciousness and do that, ask yourself, okay, guys, show me some symbols about here into the future. I give my guys a couple of weeks. And I asked them, I said, okay, what do I need to look for? In a couple of, I usually take it a month at a time. We're in the March, I've already asked for March. What do I need to see in the month of March? What would you like me to see in the month of March? Could you please show me? Then I watch for the repetition, especially if it keeps being repetitious, that gives me a symbol. I moved to Lawrenceburg, Tennessee, about, 12, 13 years ago. Not because I thought like, oh my God, I'm just going to move to Lawrenceburg, Tennessee. I asked my guys what they wanted me to do. Everything in my life for 2 or 3 weeks came in from Lawrenceburg, Tennessee. A picture of a house would appear on my computer without me doing anything. And where was the house? In Lawrenceburg, Tennessee. It all kept happening. So I finally researched and found where this house was, and we ended up buying it. But the question is it was always this constant there, go there, go there. And as long as we listen, not because we have to take it, tell people you might end up at the party in an old Volkswagen, but doesn't mean you can't leave the party driving a Mercedes. Well, you might end up there with one vibration going, ooh, I don't like that, ooh. Doesn't mean you have to follow that path. You can always trade up. You can always move to a higher sense of consciousness. Everybody is psychic. Everybody is a medium. Mediums are, like I have people tell me that mediums are born. Mediums just do work. People work at it. I was happened to be born into this whole vibration and born with this whole situation. But a lot of mediums are very extremely talented mediums, but they work at it. They continually work at the vibration and work at the energy of connecting to spirit. It's how much energy you put into it. If you put a bunch of gas in a car and you fill all the tank up, you're going to drive for a while. If you only got a couple of dollars worth of work and you fill the tank up, you only get 2 gallons of travel time. You only got a gallon of travel time here, and then you're out of gas again. You got to try to find something else to fill the tank. So find yourself what you feel is best with the symbols, the vibration. I have different books here in my house I look at. Doesn't mean I read the whole books. I read a lot of books, but the question is I look at these books and I look for signs. My mother should teach me. I'll give you a little quick trick. My mother should teach me when I was a kid. My grandmother used to do this. My mother did it too. And she would bring out the King James Version of the Bible, set it on the table, and she would have me sit in front of the Bible. And she would have 3 different bookmarks. 3 different bookmarks. One bookmark was for the past. One was for the present. One was for the future. And she would allow me to turn the page, slip in the bookmark. Turn the page, slip in the bookmark. Turn the page, slip in the bookmark. And then she would open up to the page of the past. And whatever her eyes lit on when she opened the book is what she would do the reading for. Whatever her, not what my eyes lit on, but her eyes lit on, she would give me a reading, past, present, and future, from the Bible. And I thought that was always kind of cool. I use those readings in my life a lot when I'm up in Christian areas or Christianity, and I bring out the Bible, and they go, "Oh my God, you're going to give me a reading from the Bible?" "Oh, I'm down with that. I'm good with that." And they have people turn to different pages. If you want to learn symbols and vibration, get yourself a large book. Bibles work really well. Get yourself a large book and just turn to a page. Don't adjust it. Don't say, "Oh, I got to look here." No, just allow your eyes to fall somewhere on the page, anywhere on the page, wherever you feel like you need to fall. And then, if you saw that, if you read that line, read that vibration, what would you say about it? What would you say about it? What would you say about it? That's what you're teaching yourself, is what would you say about it? Symbols are very connective, but remember, don't have somebody tell you that, "Oh my God, it means this, and you better not venture far from that because this is what it means." No, no. No, you need to set the vibration for you. You're going to get a conglomerate in your vibration of symbols, photographs, and live people talking. So, live people talking. So, if you are in the process of a lot of live people talking, then you have to ask yourself, what do I need? What do I need to do with this? But trust yourself. You have this strong connection to spirit, this really strong connection that everyone is born with. We just have to go find the key. We have to find what we're looking for, the key to this. And once we find the key, then we open the door and we venture through. But remember, there's always another door somewhere up the road. It doesn't stop at the first door. So it's not like you stop at the first door and say, "Okay, I'm okay here." You keep moving to the next door and the next door and the next door until you eventually get to where you first need to be. But trust yourself. You have this strong connection of spirit within your life. That spirit loves you and wants you to be the best medium you can be. I hope you enjoyed today about the classes, the vibration. Remember, next week we're going to do this again at 3 o'clock. The 25th of this month, I am not going to be here. I will not be here. I'm going to be out of town the 25th. So the 25th of this month, if you're looking for me to be here the 25th, I won't be here on the recording. But I'll be here the following week. So I'm going to miss a week, 25th. So just remember that. And I'm going to take us all out of Q&A. I want to thank you guys.